The organs in the female pelvis are positioned centrally and actually far more tightly squashed together than one might imagine. In fact, the bladder, the vagina, and the rectum almost form a single unit. It's almost like thinking of three prison cells side by side. Each one has its own entrance, but the walls between the actual cells are shared. So you'd have three prison cells, but only two walls. And for them to maintain their structural integrity, in order for them to function properly, they need to actually be held up inside the pelvis in the appropriate manner. And the best analogy that I could give that might explain this is to look at a tent. Although a tent sits nicely on the ground, it only really adopts the shape of a tent when the guy ropes that are attached to the tent pole, either at the center or either ends of the tent, are firmly stretched and hammered into the ground to maintain the shape of the tent that we would normally consider that it should have for it to function properly. And it's no different with the female organs. Most of the organs will have connections to the side walls of the pelvis, and these act like guy ropes to hold the organs in place, to hold them centrally, and more importantly, to hold them under a degree of tension so that they can function properly. When the organs are no longer in place, they start to descend. Human beings are an upright animal. In fact, we're the only mammal that walks on two legs rather than four. And because of gravity, if the organs aren't held in place properly, they will start to descend towards the floor and out of the body if allowed to go on for long enough. The effect this would have on normal functions such as urinary continence and fecal incontinence is that the muscles that open and close the outlets to the bladder and the bowel require a degree of tension for the muscular contraction to have some effect. If the organs are beginning to sag and fall out, then they become, I suppose, a bit like a schoolboy's sock that should be up around his knees, that ends up scrunched around his ankles. There's no support, and the function of the muscles starts to wane.